This is a picture of a hockey player who plays for the Philadelphia Flyers named Ivan Provorov. Um, I'm not much of a hockey fan, so I don't really know this guy, or didn't know about him until the recent uh, news story in which he, which covered the fact that he declined to take part in Pride Night festivities with his team. There was something that they had in Philadelphia a few days ago, I guess. I don't know why are they doing this in January. I thought June was Pride Month. But anyway, um, they had some rigmarole, some something that they decided to do just to score woke points, to, I don't know, for ESB purposes, or whatever, for whatever reason. All of the major corporations and every powerful entity has to reflect this kind of virtue signaling ad nauseum um, today. For that reason, this particular NHL team, the Philadelphia Flyers, decided to have a Pride night, and the players went out to practice wearing rainbow jerseys, I think, something like that. Um, and this guy, Ivan Provorov, said, "I'm not going to do that. No thanks. Count me out." Um, and so he stayed inside the locker room while these festivities were taking place. And he was asked later why he did it, and this was his response. He said, "I respect everybody's choices. My choice is to stay true to myself and my religion. That's all I'm going to say." Okay. Although I understand that he was asked to clarify or to tell what his religion was, and he said, Russian Orthodox. So once again, it's coming back to Russia. Um, and that's the main reason I'm highlighting this story, not because it's just another, tiring salvo in the culture war. And I don't come here just to wring my hands about they're doing this now, they're doing that now. It's getting more and more oppressive, which it is. Don't get me wrong, but I just like, what value, what worth is there in just kvetching about it and wringing your hands about it? There. I find it more interesting to try to look a bit more deeply into these kinds of stories and see certain patterns and comment on them. My commentary lately has reflected on the current importance of Russia, um, and how we see it taking shape culturally at a time when the West is falling, when the West is failing, when the West is sinking into a morass of tyranny and simultaneous tyranny and degeneracy. It's representatives of Russia uh, who are who are taking a stand. Don't get me wrong, not exclusively. I'm not saying everybody who's against wokeism is Russian. Obviously, that's not true. But what I am saying is that Russia is rising as this powerful force of the counterculture, the conservative counterculture that is taking a stand against woke tyranny. And if you haven't already, please consider what I'm saying here in conjunction with other videos I've recorded recently regarding Our Lady of Fatima, um, the Marian apparition, which appeared to 3 children in the small town of Fatima in Portugal, how she foretold the need for Russia to be consecrated to the Sacred Heart of Mary. And again, I get, for some of you, especially those of you who might have just wandered off, who might have just wandered onto this video from, I don't know, if this is maybe the first video of mine you've ever seen, this might sound like weird fanaticism, but if you've got if you've got an open mind, then just watch my other videos on this subject, and type in my name and Russia, and see which videos show up, and then pay attention to the commonalities that are emerging. Again, it's about noticing patterns. Again, in the during the very same period of time in which the West is sinking to its low ebb, the West, led by the United States, of course, even though, of course, the rest of the West some of it looks down their nose at the United States. The fact is that the United States is the political and cultural leader of the West, for better or for worse, and in these days it's definitely for worse, mostly. A fish rots from the head down. As the United States rots, as its cultural and political and military power diminishes in the world, as its financial power, the power of the petrodollar and so forth, diminishes in the world. See a concomitant rise in the state of Russia. I just think it is significant, and I say this as a Roman Catholic, a worshiping Roman Catholic, not as a Russian Orthodox believer myself, but of course it had to be a Russian Orthodox believer who would take this stand. This seemingly small gesture of just not taking part in this silly activity, this corporate enforced bit of virtue signaling. And he says, "Niet, I will stay in locker room." And I submit, you can see how things come together with respect to Russia, to prophecies said about Russia, and again the current rise of Russia, what Russia has chosen to become, the kind of culture that it has chosen to embrace as an antidote or an alternative to the West, as the West slides into this cultural woke tyranny, this whole fly our flags and wear our logos, or we'll cancel you kind of society that we have today. It's Russia. It's the Russian state. It's the Russian culture. It's Russians generally. Of course, people are going to come at me with these sort of straw man arguments, saying it's not all Russians. There are Russians who are pro-West and blah, blah. Of course, there are. It's not a black and white thing, but I am saying it is still something that it is striking how we are seeing this happening right now. And it's something I think it's more interesting anyway to pay attention to than just to say, than just to record another gripe video about here goes those woke fanatics, here goes those politically correct tyrants again. I think it's more interesting to think about the subject this way. So those are my thoughts on Ivan Provorov situation, the stand that he took. And by the way, his jersey is seems to be selling out. They say it's very hard to get your hands on a jersey of his because people are buying his jersey because they appreciate the stand that he took, not because they're against, not because they want to go around, bashing gay people over the head or killing them or doing violence to them or anything like that, but simply because they're tired of this forced obeisance, this mandated deference or deferentiality to the ideology that's being forced and foisted upon us from above. Good for you, Ivan. Right on, Ivan. And isn't that interesting too? Ivan is, what the sort of slang name for Russians, like Ivan's coming. There's a bunch of Ivans around here. It's sort of the a common Russian name. Well, 3 cheers for Ivan, I say. What do y'all think? Let me know. Thanks for watching.